show. Thank you all for coming out. Really, thank you guys so much for coming out here. This has been a long time coming. I've been trying to get something like this together for a really, really long time, and I am super, super excited to be bringing this to Nashville so that I could spotlight some of my colleagues who are really outstanding in their field, and we've got two of them tonight, and also bringing music. We have an amazing musical guest tonight. Some of you are going to get readings tonight. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Susie Kerr-Wright, for those of you that don't know. I am an astrologer and a psychic medium, among other things. I want to make sure I thank everybody who helped, because when I started this, I literally thought, oh, I'll just put this together. I put together so many events, I do stuff all the time, And I had no idea how deep I was getting in the weeds with this thing. And I started calling for help a little while back, and some really amazing people stepped up, and I can't find the page, so I'm going to try to do this from memory. And we have Torrin and Crystal Lyles, who are outstanding. Give them a big hand. Came to my rescue to run video and greet everybody and bring everybody into the theater and do the intros. We have Sam back there on sound. Fantastic job. Thank you, Sam. And Judy Bernard is out front, making sure that stragglers get in, and we're still missing one guest, by the way, so he's supposed to be a big surprise, and I think the big surprise is Ghosty McBoo is not going to show up, so well, we'll see what happens. And who else am I forgetting? Rachel Hamilton at the theater here for giving us the opportunity to do this. This is awesome. I'm going to be doing all kinds of different events here. If this all goes well and y'all like it, let me know. I'll do more. If you don't like it, be nice about it, but let me know. And I forget anybody to thank. Oh, my husband David, who would be here if he could. He's on a plane coming back from LA, but he was the one that did the theme music for me. I played drums and he played everything else, and put up with my overshadowing him while he was mixing. No, bring that up. Fix that. No, change that. He's a saint. The man is a flippin' saint. And also my friend Media Psych Marti, who will be here. All right, so let's have one more big round of applause. So my first guest here, I know her well, but I want to get all this stuff in. So my first guest lives in Nashville, where she's a tarot card reader, she's a certified life coach, a workshop teacher, and prior to her time in Tennessee, Kiki lives in Connecticut, Paris, and Nottingham. We'll forgive her for Connecticut. And she was an English and creative writing student. She received a bachelor's degree from Southern Connecticut State University. Again, forgiven, Kiki. And her master's degree from Nottingham University. That's kind of cool. Kiki's written work has been featured in Which Way Magazine, Green Egg Magazine, Witchbox, and Elephant Journal. And she's just released her first book. This is why I wanted her to come out tonight. We're so proud of her. It's called 8 Extraordinary Days, which is an almanac of her research on the Witch's Wheel of the Year. So her book has reached #1 on Amazon as a new bestseller in paganism. My friend Bob Whitelock in Boston, who wrote that music. He contributed it. So, all right. Well, welcome to the Radio Support to Telly show.
I'm so happy to be up here with you to do this again, because we've done shows together before, so this is really nice to be up here again to chit chat with you and to we can swear tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be up here shooting the show.
Swearing
I'm
is
really
encouraged.
excited.
I'm really excited. I'm really proud of you about your book. So yeah, why don't you tell the folks what that's about?
The name of the book is. Can you hear me? I'm kind of quiet. I've never been like a yeller, and I had to do a workshop a couple weekends ago, and they had no mic, and I was yelling and went home with no voice. Anyways, my book.
Are you really a Yankee?
Yeah. Well, you don't hear me in the car.
Because we yell. You can hear us without mics.
In private time in the car when I have to go around people who don't use their indicators. So So I wrote a book called 8 Extraordinary Days, and it is about the witches' wheel of the year, which are the Sabbats or the holidays that many witches and pagans and Wiccans celebrate. And so each of the 8 holidays, they kind of follow the natural cycles of nature. So it's very witchy. It tells you how to celebrate special holidays. The next one coming up is the summer solstice. And then Lughnasadh or Luagnasadh or Lammas or the awesome bread day of August, whatever you want to call it. That
The awesome bread day of August?
Sure, why not?
What's that?
Well, Lughnasadh or Luagnasadh, however you want to say it, it's a holiday that deals with kind of like harvest. So it's all about like harvesting those crops. So bread tends to be a really big celebration with it. And
I like that holiday. How about you?
any day that celebrates carbs is a good thing.
That's a
So,
beautiful thing. Is there a coffee day?
Every day, every single day, and altars for it. So the summer solstice is coming up Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to Siri this for me. It's well, you should know this too because you're the astrologer.
I know.
So anyways,
I've
summer
been wrapped up
solstice
in
is
this.
coming up, and a lot of people call it midsummer or Litha, and it's a very special holiday. A lot of times people celebrate fairy folklore with it. So they'll say that the fairies come out to play. It's a great holiday to harvest herbs. And it's also a good time to do dream divination and dream work. So,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
And drink sangria if that's your thing.
Yeah.
Good way. Celebrating the sun. I always liked that Bonnaroo happened around this time because the summer solstice is really all about getting outside, celebrating life, celebrating abundance, enjoying the energy, getting a dose of vitamin D. And I think of all that when I think of Bonnaroo. So yeah, it's a fun holiday. You just have to get out there and have a good time.
Well, awesome. Yeah. So it's doing really well. What are the reviews? The reviews must be stellar, huh?
So this is the fun thing. So if you get the book, please go on Amazon and leave a pleasant review. More pleasant than my uncle's.
Your uncle?
No, my uncle left a good one, but it was so funny because when, on Amazon, you can give 1 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
And so you would suspect that family would be like, we're very proud of you, here's 5 stars. My uncle goes on and writes, didn't know what the topic was about, and gave me 4 stars. I was like, thanks for the support. So, it was sweet. No, I think he just, maybe my next book will do better with my family.
Does he understand? Does he practice? Or does he?
No, my family is. They're opening up to it. Like my mother calls me the Mother Earth child, and my father calls me the alchemist, and so they just kind of think I'm doing weird shit down in Nashville, which I am. So
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, it's good times.
It's so funny. I have a friend whose father, and she's a medium. She's an excellent medium, and her father insists on introducing her as a grief counselor. He just cannot wrap his mind around.
Yeah, we come up with different titles for the. It's like, I just assist people. I work in the metaphysical field, and I don't know. That's and that's something that's very Nashville-y to me. Like when I'm here and people ask me what I do, I don't say, well, I'm a tarot reader. I say, well, I work. I have a full-time job actually in parks, which is funny because we're in a parks department right now. Yeah. So these are my peeps.
How many of her peeps are here that she works with?
I know.
There might be some. There was some that actually bought tickets. And they're not here, so God, I hate that. I bet it was
probably
because of the parking.
Yeah, that's out there.
They don't have any special privileges apparently.
They're parking cars.
We try.
I'm sorry. So yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, right. No, it's okay.
Rule number 1: never interrupt your guests.
Well, and I'm such a flake, so I lose track of things immediately. So when I'm in Nashville, I'm like, I'm a healer, I do lots of cool hippie stuff, and, I work in metaphysical fields. And then when I go home to Connecticut and I'm just out, chit-chatting with people, I'm like, I'm a tarot reader, and they're like, girl, that's amazing. I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels different. I don't know, maybe things are changing a little bit in Nashville now, but...
They are, you know, I mean, if you think back several years ago, it was really like, there was so much, you know, there was an astrology group that would meet here, and we couldn't get people to commune because people were just so used to being siloed and hidden, you know, and now this, you know, the community's growing. That's why something like this is, you know, is a great thing. It really is growing. How long have you actually been working as a psychic?
Professionally?
Yeah.
How old am I? My birthday is next Monday, so okay.
Oh my gosh, yay!
Okay, so that means professionally I've been working for maybe like 13 or 14 years. Really, I started reading tarot when I was really young. So I was really fortunate because my mother, so finding tarot was not very like exotic and mystical. It wasn't like I saw a hawk and then, you know, all of a sudden I saw my shaman or spirit animal and they led me to tarot. I loved the show My So-Called Life. And there was an episode where Angela Chase had this deck of tarot cards and she was like brooding and listening to the Cranberries and she had this, you know, this tarot deck and I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. So my mother took me to a New Age shop and they hooked me up. They got me a tarot deck, the Rider-Waite, which is a very common deck. Got me some books and I started very, very, very young and just kept working on it and finally got my start at a witch shop in Connecticut. A long time ago.
The rest is history.
And the rest is history. Here we are.
Quite good. Quite adept at tarot. Their classes are phenomenal. Did you have any classes coming up?
Probably.
Probably not. You have the books.
Well, you know what I do.
Actually, it's hard to make a commitment. You know, it's like, do I want to be every Thursday? No, I might want to do this on that Thursday. No, you know, it's getting classes on the books.
What I would recommend doing, well, tomorrow I actually have something at a yoga studio where I'm doing a book signing and I'm doing a free lecture on the summer solstice. So that's at Blooming Lotus Yoga. So that's happening at noon. It's free, and if you want to get a book, I hope you do. I'll sign it. We'll take a selfie. It will be fabulous. And then also too, I'm on Facebook. If you look up my name, Kiki Dombrowski, and if you can't remember my last name, you could just Google Kiki and Tarot and find my Facebook. I have all my events up there. It remembers better than I do.
Yeah. And perfect technology has become like our assistant. So what we're doing here tonight is we're doing a live reading lottery. So how many of you have envelopes with numbers on them? All you guys? Yeah. And if you want to see a little bit about the magic that this girl can work, the cards are right back there, and the hat too.
I love this.
Grab the hat. This is the hat with the numbers in it. So what I'm going to do is shake them up. And
I get any of them that are still left, right?
All right, that was graceless.
You have number 29. Is somebody giggling who's number 29?
Back here.
Are you ready? Do you want to get a reading?
Sure.
Okay.
Come on up, have to give her a hand, guys.
Diana, have you ever had a reading?
No, I haven't.
No. So, are you excited?
I am excited.
All right. So,
I think.
yeah, it's just gonna be shit hits the fan. No, I'm kidding. Really fun. So, do you have any questions in particular? Anything you want your reading to be about today?
Do I have a choice?
Yeah, whatever you want. That's the thing. Like sometimes with tarot readers, like, and I'll just give a little education.
That's what we're here for.
Sometimes tarot readers go in and they'll say, I don't want any information whatsoever. I just want you to park your ass and I'm going to talk.
All right, go for it.
And then there are I'll take number one. All right, well, just park your ass.
I'll take the park
And then option number two, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll offer my clients the opportunity to share any questions or any issues or topics that they wish to have. And I think you told me this at one point. It's like going into a doctor's office. You don't sit down with your doctor and say, guess what's wrong with me? So you come in and you say, this is the stuff that feels a little wonky. So, and some people, they're just like, well, I just want to know what you have to say. And the other thing I say too is, this is like my shtick now, is that I am not like a Sylvia Brown, I don't know. Like I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you what's going to happen in 20 years. You're not going to find out what color your house is or what the middle name of your future partner is going to be.
So you can't tell me what kind of dog I'm gonna have?
You should get a boxer. They're adorable.
She can tell you lots of stuff, it just may not be a psychic hit.
Wait.
We can always tell you what to do in your lives.
So what I want to do is I'm going to have you so you just want to go park your ass route. Okay, let's do it. So what I'm going to do is, today we're going to just pull 3 cards for you.
Okay.
So the first card's going to represent stuff that happened in the past, stuff that's happening right now is the second card, and the third card is stuff that you can look forward to.
Okay.
So here, why don't you actually take the cards, shuffle them around, feel it out, feel them up, and pull 3 for me. What?
I think you'd be feeling up cards in here tonight, did ya? Who has never, ever talked to a psychic before in their life? Yay, you guys. Thank you.
She talked to one, but she didn't know it was a psychic. Well, nobody told me.
Awesome, yay. You know, while they're doing that, I'll tell you, everybody has different ways of laying out cards and, some people have clients pick, some people don't. I kind of go all over the map. Sometimes I'll just start throwing cards, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it in my world, but the tarot is taught very ritualistically, from way back when. So it just depends. It's more like a personal preference. It doesn't really mean anything good or bad if you touch the cards or don't touch the cards, really. That's up to the person doing the reading. So go for it.
You want me to go for it? These are amazing
Nice,
cards.
yeah.
So what I'll do is, I know. You got really badass cards here. So the one that you got for the past is the Lovers. So the Lovers card is pretty self-explanatory in many ways. So what it could represent is that you got yourself into a really great relationship situation, you're getting good vibes off of somebody. It could also represent a time of self-love. So seeing this card is a really, really optimistic thing to have in the past, because it just shows that you're taking care of yourself. The one thing I always say with this card is communicate your feelings. Just always try and start with I feel, and see if that assists in any way, especially if you're in a relationship. And if you are in a relationship right now, this could also indicate taking things to the next step. So good stuff. If you're not in a relationship, you love you. You should look even yourself too. So are you in a relationship right now?
I am.
Awesome. It must be going well. Because the next card is, are y'all getting married or fertile and baby kind of stuff at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, then just keep the baby maker cards in mind. If that's your thing, go for it, because you've got this very fertile. So the Ace of Pentacles.
I make babies, yes.
Fertile
Right
mind.
on, well done you.
Well, it can also be a warning if you don't want to make babies.
Yeah.
Really careful.
Birth control. Yes, exactly. So if you're into that, do that too. We could just pretend that this is like a, orthotricycline. Is that the one? Yeah. Okay. So just a couple things about that. What I would say, in combination with that Lover's card, this could really represent that things are really, really developing for the two of you. And what it could also represent outside of the relationship is now is your time to either find a new job, start a new career, look for new ways to manifest money, ask for a promotion. So basically, I like to look at this as like the hand of God handing you cash. So this is a really, really good opportunity card. So I hope that things are going really well for you financially. The way I would look at it with your final card, which is the Justice card, is that if you had financial issues, this would mean that things are going to balance out for you. And then with the Justice card as well, your homework, and I do this with my readings, I don't know if you do this, I always give homework and assignments to my people. This is the shit you have to go home and work on. And so what I say with the Justice card is, what does balance mean to you? So it's a very, very overused sort of cliche platitude that people say, you need balance in your life. Well, what the hell does that mean? So taking it to the next step, does that mean, a balanced diet? What does a balanced diet look like to you? Does that mean balancing work with social life a little bit more? So that's a couple things as well. But relationship looks totally awesome. Seeing this card also says that the two of you are really going to reveal some truths to each other as well. So I think things are getting a little excited.
All right, Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being here.
This has been so much fun.
And once again, everybody, Kiki Dombrowski.
This is awesome. This is such a great idea.
And this theater is magic. This theater really has magic in it. I absolutely show the way a cook prepares a beautiful dinner, with things that are both appetizing and alluring. Get on the mic here, so you can hear. So for our second course, in place of grapefruit, I give you Johnny Foodstamp. Give him a big hand.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good.
Very happy to be here. From right here in Nashville, Tennessee. My name is Johnny Foodstamp again. Did y'all see that sign on the way into the park? I got a little worried to park my car. The reason I bring it up is because they said it was psychic. There's an escaped psychic midget actually on the loose in the park right now.
It's me.
He escaped from prison. And the headline on the post-it said small, medium, at large.
Oh, everybody kazoo it. Come on, who has
Don't worry, I'm not here to tell jokes. I'm actually here to play ukulele for you. The ukulele is a Hawaiian instrument, so much so that the word ukulele is literally Hawaiian for ukulele. It's got gut strings on it. Gut strings are kind of made out of a love-hate relationship. A love for music and a hatred for cats. Actually, you know, that always gets a couple of frowns out. I love cats. They're kind of like Baptists in a way. You know they raise hell, you just can't catch them at it. Anyways, the song goes like this.
him do that? Anybody?
Somebody
A couple
caters
people
out there.
who loves it now.
When I was a kid, all I used to do was play ukulele. Everybody else would be outside playing football. And I gotta say, I think it really paid off because I kicked this thing about 60 yards.
Oh, ukulele abuse. Oh. So I met Johnny because I took some lessons from him, and I'm going to be taking more for sure. I love the ukulele, and it is such a fun little instrument to play, and he is a brilliant, brilliant teacher.
Thank you,
I
yeah,
really enjoyed the lessons. And
I teach at Fanny's House of Music over in East Nashville, 5 Points, aka Hipster Hollywood. You know, the other day I joke about that, but I went to Three Crow Pizza, or Three Crow just for some pizza, and the guys at the table next to me, you know, they were kind of eavesdropping, and I farted, and they started arguing about who heard it first. And so, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Anyways, Fanny's House of Music is right there, across from Beyond the Edge, right at 5 Points. I do lessons, half-hour lessons. You can contact them, or you can grab one of my business cards off the table there. So.
And he so generously provided us with those awesome kazoos out there.
Yes.
And yes, thank you. Yes, come on, everybody, kazoo! Kazoo!
You can have I don't even have one on me right now, but just a quick tutorial on the kazoo. You want to hum, don't blow, and you want the big end, not the small end. So you feel free to grab one on your way out.
You put the big end in your mouth?
Yes.
Oh, hell, I didn't know
Little known
that.
fact.
That's what she said. I've been blowing kazoos the wrong way, well, humming kazoos the wrong way all my life. Oh, wow, that's so much better than that end.
The little space on that larger end is actually for your teeth. That's a patented design there.
Ah, wow. So, who doesn't love a kazoo, right? So, and thank you for bringing those, really, seriously. So
That's
what
a
else you got going on? So
That's
you
a Kazooie Kazoo. I'm sponsored by them. Sorry, they give me a nickel every time I say that. So.
say it again. Say it 5 more
Kazooie
times.
Kazoos. They're the only American-made plastic ukulele or plastic kazoos that you can buy. Actually, they're from Beaufort, South Carolina. Unbreakable, waterproof diaphragm. Can't beat that.
See, and I can take this out of my paddleboard with my Waterman ukulele that's waterproof.
You can. As a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
see, it's like, you can do anything in this world, people. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do anything. So anything you got coming up you want to let folks know about?
I'm currently on hiatus from touring and whatnot to teach and to do a new album. So I live right here in Nashville, and I usually busk on the corner 2nd and 4th on most Friday, Saturday nights. Not tonight, but yeah, not much for Johnny Foodstamp local in town, but you can check out foodstamp.com. I got some CDs up on there for free, and I do post whatever shows I have on there. I think the next thing coming up is the big Ukulele World Congress next month in Nashville, Indiana. So.
I
Yeah.
did not know there was such a thing.
Once you get to play uke, it's
Wow.
like you find it's I don't know, it's like when you drive a car, you see it all the time.
Wow, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And he's going to do another song for us in a little while, but you're welcome to hang out here if you want. I know he's been sitting back there. He hasn't stopped playing since he got here. So, I mean, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, but you're more than welcome to stay out here if you want. One more time, guys. Johnny Foodstamp. All right. Our next guest owned the Goddess and the Moon metaphysical store in Nashville for 25 years. And presently she's offering psychic readings, past life regressions, chakra balancing, and Reiki out of office space on Spence Lane. So she's the author of 3 books, and has a 4th one that's going to come out this year, which is a murder mystery. She is the coordinator of Pagan Unity Festival. It's a PUFF, for those of you who might have heard about PUFF. It's a yearly festival which just celebrated its 25th year. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And she's going to present some workshops on spell work in Chattanooga in September, and she's also going to be offering workshops at Pagan Pride Day in Nashville, which is also in September. So guys, I would appreciate it if you would give a nice big round of applause to my friend Tish Owen.
Wow. So I just have to say that backstage
Oh, really?
And so there was a
Oh,
whole
here,
lot
where are
of
you sitting?
pretty
Yeah,
well.
come on
Oh,
over.
right in the middle. Oh, good for me.
Yeah, we got a little.
I can't see those people. I don't have glasses.
It's
And
probably
so
better.
here's what I heard, which was the big end, the small end. The big end goes in your mouth. You hum, you don't blow. And then diaphragm. I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
You didn't know what you're getting into, did you?
I know you. I've known you a long time. So yes, I did.
So none of that was a surprise.
Well, no, it was pretty funny from back there. I was like, what?
Oh my God! Did my guest arrive? My other guest arrive yet?
No,
The missing one. He's
no.
missing.
There's sandwiches though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think Ghosty has ghosted me. So, anyways, we have other plans. We got plenty of show here for you. Welcome to the very first wicked awesome fortune telling
Look,
show.
it does this.
And-
I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I don't even know where I want to start with you. I mean, you know, seriously, we have
what the cop
gotten
said the
into
last
so much. I know, I was gonna say, we've gotten into so much crap, the two of us. I'll tell you. And there's more crap coming up. We've got a trip.
We've never been arrested.
Well, not yet.
Together.
Not yet. Yeah, together. And we have a trip coming up to Lilydale. We're going up to study with one of my former tutors from when I went over to the Arthur Findlay College for mediumship training in England. He's coming here to Lilydale. Do any of you know what Lilydale is? You guys don't know?
Oh,
okay.
goody.
Oh, we're going to talk about this.
Yes.
Lilydale is a community of mediums. You must be a registered medium with the Assembly of Lilydale in order to live in this community. It's a gated community. And they have classes and events all summer long. It's beautiful. It's tucked away in upstate New York. All of the houses in the village are like, they're Victorian homes and everything. I'll get to you in a minute, I'm sorry. And but she hasn't been there, so she can't explain. She can't describe it yet. But
Sounds
anyways,
nice.
but yeah, so that's where we're going, and
Yeah.
and the two of us are going to drive out 10 hours together. So
Without adult supervision.
so I
Oh.
really hope you donated well tonight because we definitely need bail money.
That's all right. Billy's taking care of it. He's going to hold the bail money for us.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
good.
Okay. So.
It's good to have friends. You know, low places.
But Tish and I swear to God, I'm gonna let you talk. We have done these kind of shows before. Tish came up with one called the Mystic Coffee Hour.
It's a resounding success.
And yeah, well, it really wasn't bad. It ran for
It really wasn't
Channel
bad.
19.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like you're flipping through and you go, oh look, there we are. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was kind of our maiden voyage into like some sort of formatted show where we brought this stuff and Kiki was the guest and Sean Jackson who's passed on. But
We didn't have any control over that show.
we didn't, and that was
And
the
it
thing. We
sucked.
thought it was an hour. We called it Mystic Coffee Hour, and it turned out we only had
It's
a
Mr.
half.
Coffee Hack Hour.
Yeah, and we didn't know. We weren't even halfway through the show, and the guy's like, "Okay, wrap it," and we're like, "What?" So how's business? What's going on?
Business
What's
is all right.
happening?
Business is all right. Because I've moved into office space, and you've been there. Have you been there yet? No.
No.
None of you people. Okay.
None of you have been.
So none of you have been there. It's different. It's really very. It took me a minute to kind of get used to. Because in a store, when you have a store, people come and they come and go, and they come in and they look and they, well, whatever, just like a regular retail. And we did readings, and you were there, and you did, so we had quite several people that worked out of the store. And so when we closed the store for a myriad of reasons, one of which is real estate in Nashville is ridiculous. So I moved into office space, but I was able to kind of port my clientele over. So but I don't have like drunks from the mission wandering in to use my bathroom.
Yeah,
And
that
the
was
new
always
place.
interesting. Bless their hearts.
Lysol is your friend. Yes, no. So I don't have that. And the people in the building are really nice, and they don't seem too weirded out.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
They seem like pretty cool.
They're all just great office people.
Like the first week I was there, I got locked in the office. I've heard of getting locked out of the office. I got locked in. So I go and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm playing and jiggling. I'm like, huh. Okay. So I call the International English Institute across the hall and I'm like, hi.
Hola.
Hola. Kids could say locked door. And so they came and saved me, so it was pretty funny. And they were all fascinated because I have a bird, because the bird went to she lives in the store.
Oh, Cherokee's at the store.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy.
How many of you have been to Goddess in the Moon? Anybody in the
I
audience
am
ever been
too.
there?
I like it. See,
Oh,
look,
a couple over there? Wow.
So yeah, she's still there. I mean, she's there. That's her.
Tell them about Cherokee.
Cherokee is a 16-year-old African gray parrot, and they need 12 hours of night, 12 hours of dark to sleep, and it needs to be quiet. And this is a perfect space for her, because when I turn the lights off, it's lights off and place as dark as the inside of a cave. And I usually say something else, but this is, for posterity. And so it's great, and she likes it. I mean, she settled in almost immediately. Like as soon as we took her out and put her in her cage, and she was like, oh, that's funny. So she was cool. But people come in, she goes, hello, and they all think it's me, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, there was at one point, something happened in the office, and a client had gotten in, and nobody was actually in there. But Cherokee was talking, and she thought there was a reading going on in the back, so she waited in the lobby.
It was really
And
quiet.
she was just sitting there, and she kept hearing talking. It was the bird.
What else does she
Herself.
say?
She says but she says hello and how are you and thank you and whatever and bye.
And goodbye when she wants you to
And
go.
goodbye. She's like, can you get out now?
Goodbye.
I'm done.
Goodbye.
But she has whole conversations with the phone. Like she'll ring the phone, ring, ring, and then she'll answer it.
Yeah, she actually can make
And then
the
she'll
phone
say,
sound.
hello, yeah, okay, okay, then bye, beep. You kind of want to go, was that for me?
So if you
Shit.
haven't been by the office, you got to make an appointment with Tish and come and see the bird, meet the bird, and get a reading from the Nashville scene voted her the best psychic in Nashville a few years back.
Juice that up a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I have a question for you.
I got nowhere to
You
be.
answer, you
I got
answer
nowhere to be, it's all
We're
good.
good, let's
We're good, let's
Do
hang.
you like, because you both have
Get a beer.
written books, and I really thought you had written more books than you.
She's written a lot.
You've written a lot, but you have.
This is the first book.
This is my first published book, but I've been writing articles for Which Way Magazine for like 2 years,
Okay.
and I've written just
Yeah,
tons
you're
and
always
tons
writing.
and tons.
Yeah.
So it was finally good to compile it into one place and be like, just go.
She's incredibly articulate.
Yes, that's why her tarot classes are so wonderful. So for the two of you, I want to ask both of you, like, do you have a favorite thing? I mean, do you like being an author better than a psychic, or a psychic better than an author? Do you have
Sometimes, I mean, it's so different. I'm not even sure how to answer that. It's such a different, because tarot, being a reader, and you're helping other people, and you're being social with people that come in, and then as a writer, it's solitary. It's completely like I turn on music. I can't write if anybody else in the house is awake. And so, which is not so. There's only one person left in my house to be awake. But when people are up, even if they're quiet or whatever, I can't like go in my room and concentrate on what I'm doing. I need no brain waves. Okay, so it's a very, very solitary.
I think I agree.
Endeavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like when you're writing, it's like everything needs to just go away. Go, shush.
Yeah.
And I put Gordon Ramsay with the worst kitchen nightmares on in the background. I don't know why, but like now, like I've trained my brain. If I've got Gordon Ramsay in the background yelling shit, like I know it's time to sit down and edit. So
And there you have it. That's okay.
but I don't like other people around other than Gordon. The last couple of months that I was finishing my book, I did not see anybody. I was like, everybody needs to just honor the fact that I love you, but go away. But tarot, yeah. So tarot, you're
It's
just
so different.
on it.
It's just so different. I don't know. It's-
You're social.
I like
know if
both.
you had a
I really,
preference
I love
or-
writing. And so that'll be me probably when my editor gets the next book back to me. That I'll be like, off the phone, Charles. Don't
Gordon
talk to me.
Ramsay.
I spent 3 days. We went up to Monteagle. We took the kids, the grandchildren, and we spent a couple of days and we rented a cabin and it was all good. And then I was like, bye. And I sent them all home. I spent 3 days in a hotel room with takeout, not takeout, but where they deliver,
Oh, yeah.
like room service.
Takeaway.
And that's what I did for 3 days to finish the last book.
Do you think the writing helps in any way, or
No.
are they really disconnected? Yeah.
What do you mean, how does it help?
Does it
How
help,
could it
I don't know,
possibly
does it help you feel, be more intuitive? Yeah, stop making fun of me. See, this is what happens when you bring your two friends on. You lose control.
You knew better. I tried to warn you.
No, but seriously,
Just be like,
do you
thank
think
God.
do you think writing helps you be more intuitive in some ways? Because I find, all right, so I'll tell you what I
Well, you write also.
I
so
do,
you
and
told
I
us.
write a
Just
lot of
explain
articles and
it.
stuff, I've not written a lot of
Explain
books,
yourself.
but when I write, I leave, like, I'm not there, you know, I'm in a.
Well,
it's a
I would agree with
yeah,
that, yeah.
Yeah, and so when I, you know, yeah, it's tough shifting gears, you know, to go from like writing to like dealing with a client, like I can't do that very
You can't do it the
easily.
same day.
But the same, it almost feels similar to me.
I don't know, for the one that I put out, it was it's very research heavy. And my friend Joy, who I love, she was like, okay, Kiki.
That sounded really sexy when you said it's very research
It's
heavy.
very research. Like,
Their little
Only
eyebrows.
Kiki can make that look good.
That's true. The rest of it's not.
referencing is hot. So it was brutally, like, just mentally exhausting in many ways. Like, everybody's like, well, how was it writing? I was like, it was freaking exhausting.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it wasn't really downloading or kind of like leaving this planet, but I find that when, you know, I'm writing a fiction book, I'm like that dog on Family Guy. I'm like, someday I'll have that novel out. And that's me. And so my friend Joy said that this is my smart book, and that now I have to do something fun. And so I'm hoping that I can do something a little bit more playful, that it will feel that way, where, you know, you kind of have that picture image in your mind, and you just start typing, and you don't even know where it's going to take you, but it takes you somewhere really cool and
Okay,
very
I'm
authentic.
going to agree with that because the first two books are minor research,
Right.
and the third one is a murder mystery. And so, how do you go from that to that? Well, I just dreamt it.
Right.
So I dreamt
Right.
it, and I got up and I thought, that was such an odd dream. And I started to write on like longhand on legal pad, right? And I'd written about 15 or 16 pages, and I went, oh, it's a book. Oh, okay. I guess I should buy a laptop. Who knew? And so, and that did though, like a lot of it just kind of flowed. And I think a lot of writers who write fiction, it just kind of comes from wherever it comes from.
Yeah.
I don't think that, I know I didn't think it up.
Yeah.
Okay, it just kind of fell in my brain. And then I kept dreaming about this girl. She's beautiful, she's a black girl, and she had a heart-shaped face, but she had green eyes, and she was just this beautiful girl. And finally in my dream, I said, who in the hell are you? And she said, oh, I'm in your book, you need to write me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she ended up being the best friend of my protagonist. And it was so funny, but when I finally went, oh, okay, and then I didn't dream her anymore.
You guys can do this stuff too, you know? Everybody gets these, you know, how many of you out there have experienced these cosmic downloads, you know, where you just suddenly get these great inspired things happening. Yeah, this is really common now, you know, it's funny. We want to do another meeting here. So yeah, give it up.
It's your turn.
But
You're up.
you know, it's really been interesting because Tish and I have both been talking about some interesting things that have been happening with our clientele. You know,
Oh
clients
yeah,
and
let's
stuff.
talk about that for a second.
And so, you know, several years ago we had, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, Neptune in Pisces, it's retrograde now, but you know, it's been in Pisces since about 2010, 2011. And what happened was, I mean, I knew, you know, years before that, I said, you know, when that happens, we're going to have mass awakenings of consciousness. And sure enough, I mean, as soon as Neptune went into Pisces, it was like, I was working at the store, I was working at several stores, and the phones were constantly ringing with people like, help me, I'm seeing ghosts, or, you know, I don't know what I'm feeling, there's something different, something, you know, I've been noticing numbers, I've been seeing things, I've been feeling things, and it was just like, wow, you know. And the people, this is very interesting, and this is what, I didn't tell you I was going to mention this, but the people that back then, they seemed to be kind of more nurses and healers and people who were already in some sort of helping profession. And then we hit a span of a few years where people were having the same experiences, but it was all demons and evil, and this is happening, and that's happening, and this is bad, and you know, I'm freaking out, and you know, all the ghost hunter shows were just exploded, and now we've hit another shift. And what I think is, it's almost as if this vibration went from like a very and I don't wanna say, I don't wanna be negative or anything, but it's like it went from these high vibration people to the mid vibration people, and now there's like, whew, very interesting group of people that are having a big awakening now. It's been very intense. We've had some very, very dark experiences with some new clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing that seems to be happening, but the bottom line is it's happening to everybody. And, you know, Neptune's gonna stay in Pisces for a few more years, and so there's just more layers and more layers of this to come. So, you know, as people in the helping healing profession or whatever, you know, it's definitely been interesting. I saw some letter you got today.
Well, that was
That was
interesting.
insane.
Was that insane?
Yeah, an anonymous
I get
letter.
those all the time though.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and it was quoting Deuteronomy and whatever, and not suffering a witch to live. And by the way, yes, I am. And what was the other? What they quote? There was a whole bunch of that.
It was like
and
the divination.
soothsayers and divination and those who commune with spirits and whatever. And I'm thinking, so you think by threatening me with a book that I have read twice, as a matter of fact, that you're gonna what?
Yeah. It's
Don't
been-
you
it's
have
been
some-
real interesting.
don't you have somebody-
Judgmental.
Don't you have like hungry children that you could feed or old people? I mean, what is that, okay?
I know, yeah.
Because I've been doing this for 25 years, I don't think I'm gonna change.
You have to feel bad for people that go out of their way to just,
No, I don't.
well, okay, don't feel bad for them.
Okay.
It's just, okay, I'll say it this way, it's just very intriguing that people waste their flippin' precious energy on just doing stuff like that.
I just want to smack the snot out of them.
I feel somewhere in the middle there. I'd like to swat him out of my way.
Come here, I got a big ring, I can hurt you so much.
Yeah, you know, it's just,
But that was weird, but I get like 2 or 3 times a year that I get those, and it's addressed to, beloved, who are you? And you don't have the balls to sign it?
That was mine.
I knew it was you.
Let's put it on a fun postcard
All right.
next time.
So, we got to stay on schedule here, so I'm gonna have you pull a number, and we're gonna do
She's
like a
gonna
live
pick your
reading.
number. Oh, no.
And,
That would be funny.
and like
33.
33. And
What's
that's
your number?
33.
So, because we all do things a little differently. Every reader that I've ever known, we works a lot of things together, a lot of gigs together, and everybody has their own approach to it, especially after you've done it for a minute. And so I like for people to touch the deck and put their mojo on it and get them all mixed up. But there's people who they don't allow anybody to touch their deck. Like, it's a working deck, you can't hurt it. Beer has been spilled on it, you can't hurt it. And when it gets worn out, I'll just get another one. It's cardboard, okay? It's pieces of cardboard, but 78 of them, and they each have a meaning, and they don't always mean the same thing. If you throw the book away and just go, what's that feel like? Okay, so, because, all right, so the first card that I pulled for her in this deck is, well, in most decks, this is a magician. You see that? Okay, so here's the deal with the magician. You have all the ability, you have the psychic stuff happening, but you have to listen to it better, because you're not. You keep ignoring yourself and blowing yourself off, and then you walk around going, I knew I shouldn't have done that, I knew I shouldn't have done that, I knew I should. Okay, so the thing about it is the more you listen and act, the louder that voice gets. The louder that voice gets, the more you listen and act, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it seems stupid, or even if it sounds counterintuitive, you've got to listen to it. You won't be sorry if you do, okay? Okay, so you're in transition. In normal and regular cards. This is called the goddess deck. It's a little different, but this is the death card, and the death card trope doesn't mean we work on it.
Thank you. Right.
Freaks people out, which is why I like this, because it doesn't say that. It's transformation, and it's letting go of the old and stepping into the new, which is not easy. It's never easy for you to kind of brush that off, but I feel like you're doing a good job. You're not looking over your shoulder too much, okay? Good girl.
Thank you.
New money coming.
Yeah.
So a raise or a different
Yeah.
job or something, but new money coming, okay?
Yeah.
Do you have anything in particular that you wanted to know when you bravely came up here?
Actually, it's funny because you've answered everything.
Well, there you go.
Because I just recently started doing Reiki and
Oh, okay.
hypnosis.
Oh, okay, good.
And it's a lot of confirmations to the voices and the things that I've sensed and feel.
Okay,
Um,
excellent.
and the transformation is thinking about where I want to go because I'm right now a quality analyst and I don't want to deal with people at work. I really want to deal with the potential of someone's life. So,
That is a nice way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, good.
yeah, so
Well,
that was amazing. Thank you.
congratulations, you're very welcome.
I remember Kiki and I did an event one time, and it was for, what was it?
It was for like, for Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
were dressed up in costumes, and they gave us their Penny Dreadful decks of
Which
tarot.
was dreadful.
Terrible. Oh my, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, it
Sorry.
was.
Oh, we
It
loved
was.
them.
Oh, we love him so much.
Edit that.
Oh yes, and my favorite deck. But they took out
Great to start.
the death card and the devil card out of every deck, and I was like, why would you do that? You know, and, but you know, some people are just afraid of that stuff. But it's like, but it's not, you know, dreadful.
But the artwork's
Like, this
It's
show
about
has a lot.
dying. Yeah.
Right.
That's what really cracked me up. I know, it's like the show had vampires and things that were eating things and dying and violence and
You
crazy.
want to see their
Yeah.
pictures. Their pictures are on Facebook on Goddess of the Moon.
Yeah. It was really
Great
fun.
costume.
That was one thing. And then the other thing was, you know, let's not forget too. You know, I hear a lot from clients that are, you know, struggling with being in like the corporate world and they just, you know, and I get that, believe me. I did my time in the corporate world and I don't want to go back. But one of the things that I had to learn before I was able to release it was how to show up as a spiritual person and a good person and deliver what I had to deliver as a spiritual person to that environment because that's why I was there. So it's always important to remember that that's what we are. We're spiritual people having a human experience, you know, and everybody's having that. It's just really, really important that we keep that in mind and not just reject anybody that doesn't have the same energy that we have or whatever. You know, we have to protect our energy, we have to protect ourselves. Everybody needs the love, you know, no matter what kind of suck up and kiss ass they are, you know.
Or Gary the asshole in accounting or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Everybody
Forgive
needs
him.
love, guys, you know,
Feel
really.
that one vendor. Oh, I didn't say that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear that.
I said that one vendor at Puff. I'm like,
Oh, are you talking about me?
no, I liked you.
So what I want to do now is being said, now I have a friend. Her name is Marti, and she studied media psychology. She's got a degree in media psychology. She can't be here, but we recorded a segment, and it's about books. And since we have two authors on the show, I wanted to share this with you. Today I am here with my dear friend, Media Psych Marti, and she is the keeper of all of the wisdom of things of the social media age. She knows shit and she drinks. So
That is true.
So we were talking about these things. These things called books. Books. There are many books. There are so many books. And we have two authors on the show today. And Kiki! Hi, Kiki! Hello, Kiki! So we have all these great books and we love our books. But everyone was telling us for a while that they were going away. So what happened?
No, there's. I think this is my opinion, my educated opinion, is the books are always going to be here. They actually. I just read this thing where they did this study.
That's informed.
They polled 300 college students, you know, the youngins, about whether or not they liked hard physical books or electronic books. Out of 300 college kids, what percentage do you think said that they would rather read hard books, regular books?
Regular books?
Regular books.
I
What
don't know.
percentage?
Percentage, maybe 50%, maybe.
Such a final answer.
That's the final answer.
You want a lifeline or anything?
No.
I was surprised at
Not
the
for
number.
this. I could use it for some other things, but not for this.
92%.
Whoa.
92%
Seriously, dude.
of a good chunk of our college population said that they would rather have
There's
real
hope for the
books.
future.
There's a psychological well, there's several psychological things about books that we love so much. One, you own a book. This is a book. This is mine. I have a book.
And I get like that with books too. When I go to the store, I literally, it's like, oh, it's my book. And I mean, I clutch it to my chest. I'm like, I am so excited. I have to have this book.
Right. But
I
if you
love
buy a
this
book on the phone, it's like, okay, I have a phone.
Yeah.
This is my phone. I'm physically identifying with this as a phone, not as a book. Books trigger the reward centers in our brain. They give us a feeling of accomplishment. So when you're reading a book and you start a book, you're at the beginning of the book because there's just this little thing. So as you go on, you can actually physically see the progress where you're at. You put a bookmark in it. Oh, I'm this far along. I've made it this far.
Oh,
and
wow.
then, ooh, I'm almost to the end. And then there's a feeling of accomplishment. And then there's the actual physical closing of the book. Instead of, blank, you do the app.
We talk about getting through a book.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, that actually really makes sense. And so basically, our paper books are going nowhere. We're still going to be able to hold on and touch them and
here, let me
enjoy
see
them,
this
smell
See, that
them.
was the other psychological thing I wanted to talk about with books is because they have this smell.
No, that's
They-
a really old book. That's from the 70s.
And I don't know why, but I've read that we retain information better when we read it on paper. And I was boning up on this interview so
You
that
were
I could look.
boning?
I was boning. I was doing that too. Newlywed.
Don't ask.
I just explained it. Newlywed. I'm still technically a newlywed.
You
But
are.
I read something else about reading to children, and I thought this was fascinating. If everybody, well, no, everybody knows, but if you read to children when they're young, it molds their brains better, and they're smarter when they're older. But they've been doing experiments on kids and reading out of paper books and reading out of electronic books. And kids that are read to out of electronic books, like 3 to 5, they don't retain information that well. They don't retain what they've read that well.
But they're still just hearing it.
Exactly.
Is it that they can't see the pictures too as well?
It's
or?
something about the medium. They're distracted by the pretty lights and the buttons and the things like that. But even as adults, they've discovered that we do not retain information as well on electronic devices instead of paper. And I don't know the reason behind that.
Wow.
But you were talking
You're
about...
supposed to know everything.
I can look it up!
The interwebs will never go away though.
Did you know that they actually broke down the chemical compositions? They figured out what chemicals make these books smell like they do. And I don't remember what the chemicals are. There's some sort of chemicals. You can Google it if you really want to know. But they found out that the chemicals smell like vanilla, almonds, flowers, and just a general sweetness. And it has to do with the breaking down of the breaking down of the binder. You got a great example
Well,
here.
I will tell you
and the
something.
glue and the ink and the paper.
When I was growing up, we used to go up to St. John, New Brunswick. And in St. John, New Brunswick, we would be out playing, all us kids, and the paper mill would send this smell that was the most disgusting thing
Really?
I've ever smelled. It smelled like really rancid farts. It was the most vile smell.
I wonder what the process
So-
would be to make it smell.
I don't know, but whatever it is, when they're making them, it's stinky. Although these days, I'm sure they've improved on it. But I will never forget that. That was one of those childhood memories that you wish you could erase from your olfactory. Ugh.
Oh, it even comes up. Why do paper mills smell?
So badly.
Do we
There was a
wanna
so
know?
badly option.
It's the. Well, okay, that's really boring. It's the chemicals they used.
Oh boy.
Sulfites. Oh, but yeah.
Oh, sulfur. That's
Ammonia
what it was.
and other
Yeah.
organic
Smell like
compounds.
Satan. There is definitely energy in books. And I mean, I've literally read books that I've got from other people, like picked up at, thrift stores. It's like crazy. You can feel the person who owned its energy, and especially if they've written in the book.
Yeah, you
Energy.
can't do that with.
And you can't do that with when you read them
Thank
online.
you so
much for being here and sharing what you know about
You're welcome.
books. And I know the authors on the show are going to so appreciate this insight.
Go find me on the web, MediaPsychMarti.com. Marti with an I, please. MediaPsychMarti with an I. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Because, she's a social media expert.
I tweet.
Where else would she be? If you can't find her, you ain't looking.
MediaPsychMarti. PSYCH.
If you can't find her because you can't spell it, get a book and learn some shit, okay? So, yes, thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
See you next time.
Yay.
Yay. want to see you're informed, enlightened, and
It's
everything.
everything.
You know?
You know, the one segment of books that hasn't died off, because for a while, it's been kind of slim or none as far as books, is children's books.
Yeah, that will never go
Yeah.
away. You ready for some more uke?
You certainly do. Need to raise the IQ of the
So
state.
you guys, one more time. I don't know if you can hear me back there. I'll use the mic for this. All right.
Diaphragm.
Diaphragm.
I hear you.
Okay. You heard me. All right, you guys. One more time, I want you to give a big round of applause to the amazing Johnny Foodstamp. We love him.
Well, I was just sitting there and thought of a funny little story. I've been kind of getting into some amateur woodworking lately, making a little bit of furniture at home. My wife works at a furniture store, actually, so it kind of works out. She breaks things and then brings them home, and I kind of play with them. But we just got married, and we went on our honeymoon. Thank you. We went on our honeymoon to Haiti, of all places. You can check that off the bucket list. Haiti, right? We went to a little bar, and we thought we would get something to eat, get some drinks, whatever. And so didn't speak the language. So I picked up a napkin and I devised a system of communication where I would just draw on the napkin and slide it to the bartender. So I drew a glass of wine on the napkin, slid it to him, and he goes and gets a bottle of wine, a couple glasses, working out pretty good. Well, they make these delicious little beef patties, so I wanted to try some of those. So drew a little beef patty on the napkin and slid it to the bartender. He starts cooking us up some beef patties, looking pretty good. Well, then he gets a napkin and he starts drawing on it and he slides it to my wife. And it's a bed. And to this day, I have no idea how he knew that she worked at a furniture store. This tape was written in 1912 by the great Udale Bowman, back in the heyday of the ukulele, and it's called the 12th Street Rag.
that actually brings us to the end of the show, but because we were missing, I'll show you this, and you're going to see this, because I worked my butt off on this thing for the segment that didn't happen. Ghosty McBoo-Boo's Swirly Mind Scare.
Oh, stop.
Seriously.
Sounds like we really missed something, folks.
Yeah.
I had no idea. He wouldn't even tell me what he was going to do, but apparently he is.
It's amazing someone would even attempt something like that.
Yeah.
I can work with my toe. Anyway, so what we decided to do, we got about 5 more minutes, and
Because Susie has a schedule.
gracious guest, yeah, it's somewhere in here because we started so late and I've completely lost control. But I thought what we would do for you guys, since you came all this way, and you have been a fabulous audience, by the way.
Thank you for coming.
And we thought we would just open it up to like Q&A. Any questions you have about anything for just a few minutes.
Why
So.
the hell are we doing this?
Yeah, what do you want me to tell you? Because, you know, I can tell you anything.
Will I go back to prison?
Good possibility.
How do you control like in an environment with a group of people? How do you control keeping people from coming through all the time?
Well, and it's the same process, and I'll let one of these guys answer that, because it's really the same process. It's grounding.
I just do shields.
Mhm.
You know, I just bring in light, bring my crown chakra, and push it out and make a bubble, and that way I can control my environment.
I'm a
Okay.
highly visual person, so I almost picture, like, you know the neon sign that says open?
Uh-huh.
I picture myself just shutting it off.
What, like you put the
We're
clothes on?
Closed, we're closed.
Bugger off.
I just get really stoned.
You just
I
that, guys, we gotta wrap this puppy up, but I cannot thank you enough for being here and sharing your stories and asking the questions and just being a part of this first show. I want to do some more. I don't know about you guys.
This is fun.
Hell yeah. What about you?
I'll be welcomed back, I'm not sure.
You didn't say anything wrong. But see, that's the
offended
thing.
by him very much.
Oh, the hell you were. Nobody offends Tish. No, but seriously, everybody has their own beliefs, and that's why, you know, we always say it's like whatever you believe, whatever gets you there. We're all going to a good place. So, you know, kind of hopefully, I don't know, a couple of you are wondering about. You, I was thinking of.
There'll be a party in hell just like
The 13th floor. We'll see you on the 13th floor. And again, thanks to the amazing crew of people that helped me put this together. But guys, thank you so much for being here with the wicked awesome fortune telling show.